And yeah, no, top again, we haven't seen Talia on the pick ban this so far. I think some of the mids that are being early picked or blinded do make life hard for Talia, but now that those are out of the pool, I do think you need to deny this champion away from Xiaohu. As Xiaohu staring like, damn, I wanted that champ.
Damn, I really wanted that champ.
He did. That's okay. We'll see what else he can grab. In terms of facilitators, though, that he has left, it really only is... I mean, you think about all the champs that he's been playing, it really is TF and Morgana that he's played. In terms of picks that can kind of get things going.
He brings out the Mel. I want to see the Mel. Do we get the Poppy ban here from Top Esports? Because it might be left open.
I wonder what they're talking about, because the Trundle ban...
It will be the Poppy ban.
Yeah, like, a Trundle ban is definitely setting up for an early pick Poppy. And, okay, so we're going to have a tank handshake, potentially. Scion for Breathe, a little bit more of a takeaway from 369 than a good champ for Breathe. Breathe's most played is the Ambessa. See if 369 ends up going for that with the answer into the Scion.
I wouldn't have minded the first pick Ambessa, not going to lie. But it is going to be the Lovers Duo. That was locked away a bit in that last game, at least in the bans, but it's going to be locked in for the bot lane of JackeyLove and Hung.
When you see some of the picks as early as you did in the last game, like it was Orianna Jarvan 1-2.
Yeah.
Xayah Rakan's only good on the Orianna Jarvan team. You do not want to play Xayah Rakan and Orianna Jarvan. You're asking for pain if you play Xayah and Orianna and Jarvan. As oh boy, we've seen Kalista drop off a lot in priority. I will say the only AD that has really maintained the Kalista pass has been JackeyLove.
Yeah.
And
I will say though, Light has had, like, especially over on LNG, I think this guy has had some incredible Kalista performances, and Crisp is the best, if not one of the best Renatas in our entire league. So they have extreme comfort for Weibo, and we'll see what Top Esports get.
Ooh, I would have liked the Mordekaiser for 369. It's probably going to be an Ornn. I think the only benefit I see so far for this Kalista, if things do go late, the tankies already being in this game, you know, can get those forever fights where Kalista can really benefit. It goes late. You get the Bork, you get the Jock Show, you get to move forever. As there's one of the facilitators being taken out for Xiaohu. No Morgana. Do we see a TF ban to follow?
Ooh, I think TF is so fake, so I would like to not see it banned. I do think maybe some more of that jungle focus.
You know?
Yeah, that is true. That's true. Yep, it's gonna. I was gonna say, there's a couple more gauntlets I feel like that Kanavi has in his backpack that he can throw down. I know Zed has been one that he's really been willing to just throw down and go Super Saiyan on, or sometimes lose the game for the team on. But it's gonna be the focus so far. And the Silas also banned away by Top Esports.
I like the Silas ban. That's a facilitator I didn't mention. It's been a good champ for Xiaohu in the couple times that he's pulled it out. And definitely, I mean, you already are able to grab Rakan. Ornn alts can pressure Xayah a lot with those two. I do like that ban quite a bit. I would not be surprised, by the way, if they blind mid here. It'd be very telling for how the series has gone. As Maokai taken away. I think Maokai's just definitely a big pain in the butt for Kalista to have that point and click twisted advance. And yeah, I mean,
pick's kind of nuts from Kanavi. I kind of like it. If it does end up being,
I was asking for it to be picked on 3, as it gets
it on 4. It doesn't matter.
Gets it on 4. Doesn't matter. You were correct.
And now we set up for Creme getting a counter pick, which I know you were super enthused about with how Creme has been playing already in the first 2 games.
I think he's gotten the best of Xiaohu. I mean, we could see the Sandra game, by the way, as Knight did find the list pairing with the Fury, and I think it sets up well for Xayah Rakan. As Tian looking at the Vi. It's been taken down a few pegs in priority, but I will say that I think Vi actually has a lot of good conditions in this game. You can point and click and force out Xayah's ult. You do have the denting blows against Ornn is not bad. And if you pair it with Ahri, this is a facilitating mid that while we haven't seen Xiaohu play this one quite as much in this split, we haven't seen as much Ahri in general. Still a pick that's very big for him, bit of a takeaway from Creme, but you were asking to get Lissandra, I will say.
Okay, Lissandra. There's also been the Galio Prow that we were seeing banned away so many times earlier in the series. Okay, but it is the Galio, so we are playing towards Kanavi on this Nefiri, and it's about JackeyLove getting to that hyper-scaling point. Very clear conditions for Top Esports.
I don't like Galio as much, just because it gives Vi another good target. Kalista can kind of navigate this with Renata. I felt that other picks could pressure that more. Thinking of Liss and TF, that's the other two answers. But it will be another facilitator secured for Creme and another potential takeaway from Xiaohu. And definitely, given Silas Morgana bans, they definitely were thinking about Galio. Top Esports, right? So, yeah. I think Top Esports end up with a draft, more of a two-threat composition. The tank's going to be the ones supplying the magic damage. Whereas Weibo, I mean, they would love a forever fight with Callista. So I think a lot of this is going to be, can the Viari get things going early on and kind of be that bridge to the later stages? Whereas I think for Top Esports on the red side, their mid-game fight could be really nice. I think Xayah 2 items might be the magic fight for them with Galio early on, as Galio tries to bridge Nefiri. Like, I think Xayah 2.5 items with Nefiri 2 items, like that's the really magic point for Nefiri. I think that's a really important one in this game.
So big 2-item spike potential there for Top Esports, but this series has been holistically Top Esports. If Weibo want to come back in this one and not lose their first best of 5 to Top Esports, they've got to win here. They've got to win now and start this reverse sweep, or they will fall to the lower bracket. Top Esports, they are firing on all cylinders. We have seen Kanavi with 100% KP last game, but all of the combinations, the team play we've seen from them has just been next level. So can Weibo stop the tide that is red and all-consuming as we get into Game 3 of Weibo versus Top?
Be careful about tides that are red and ever all-consuming, Mazel, on the LPL broadcast. They don't even allow Vladimir to be shown in full here.
True.
Yeah.
I
wonder what they think about other things that are red and all-consuming, but I think I've gotten enough of that on the internet today. As I've gotten into this one. Top Esports, the AI thinks that they have the scaling advantage. This one goes late, Mazel.
Ooh.
I gotta say, I think Callista's forever fight could be threatening, but the damage does really fall off on Weibo later on, looking at the Viari, so...
But, like, how do you fight? I mean, I'm just seeing, like... okay, we're giving a lot of Otis to Light just being a damn good team fighter, but man, you gotta be so on your game to navigate these fights later on. Like everything that you're gonna have to be dodging out of and positioning around is gonna be so difficult.
I mean, he's got Renata. I don't think it's that dire. Like, for me, the biggest thing is that he's gonna have trouble against is Hong. So I think that Hong needs to be marked, because if you get the quickness into the flash and you start the combo from there, then yeah, Callista can get one shot.
Yeah.
But I think your hops can really help you with Renata, especially against Galio, because that's a really good trade from Chris. Hit the double E. And Hong is going to get threatened. Almost goes down.
I talked about these guys, the comfort they have on the Callista Renata. Maybe not together when they made those comforts come true, but here coming together for Weibo on the bot side and needing that consistency to stay safe, stable for Weibo. And we will see the top to bot clears for both junglers.
Kind of as is tradition so far in this server. As should be Tian if these junglers do meet early. Nefiri just kind of has to play defense. You're looking to poke and prod around with your Qs and the pets. Whereas Vi, looking to connect with the Qs. Any jump that Vi can get on the Fury can be good, because of course the Fury can react to the vaults coming in, right? So going up.
Yeah, the fact they have 2 ways to get out of the cease and desist is going to be really interesting to watch. I think there's going to, I mean, obviously at this level the mechanical checks are super important, but I think in this game in particular, there's a lot of execution bars and thresholds that need to be met, as we will end up seeing our junglers come to a close with their first clears and end up on bot side with a potential spicy 3v3.
Tian's first clear was really fast, as Vi saw some changes, but Tian being able to wrap up around before 320
he's going to be on the
big.
ward.
Yeah, he can kind of walk in, and he's going to push Kanavi to that secondary crab.
Oh, wait, but Xiaohu has first move here. He's going to use the untargetable there. He is going to be able to fight out Tian. Xiaohu coming over. Doesn't have any extra length here to join the fight, but the Scuttle Crab looks like it should go the way of Weibo. Xiaohu's going to get jumped on by Kanavi. Just take a little bit of bleed damage there on the back end from the Darkened Daggers, and it will be a trade of the Scuttles.
So I know this one looks a wee bit goofy. I think this is okay, though, for Kanavi. Because, like, that skirmish, it jails Xiaohu. So look at mid. Creme was able to get that TP off. I know that Xiaohu has decent conditions for now. His TP back will be better. But if they're able to kind of keep Ahri jailed, then you actually buy some space for your Nefiri to function. And we'll see if Kanavi can do anything with that.
It's been doing a lot this series, so maybe able to do that. As Chris going to get caught out a little bit. Some return damage from Weibo as the 2v2 kicks off yet again, consistently in the bot side. And
Kanavi
will eventually get the backs going, and Kanavi going for the fight onto Tian, as Tian will end up getting the Grump and try to go through the untargetable of Kanavi. It will just be Kanavi rebuffed from the invade, and the clear continues for Tian. That was without a back from Kanavi, by the way.
It was also without a back, though, from Xiaohu, and I think that's what kind of opened it up. The fact that mid is going the way it is. Xiaohu cancels his base again. Now, he will get back in TP on a decent wave, and he's going to be the much stronger mid when he does get back out onto the map. So we'll see if this leads to any dragons, because we do have the first reset coming out from the Kalista Renata. So this will force the enemy bot lane back. And yeah, that's all they need in order to start up this dragon. So Vi with the denting blows, Kalista Renata with the strength they have in the first base they took. This pretty much locks up the dragon for Weibo, because they're going to take a very early dragon. Well executed from them.
Earliest dragon of the series here. And it's actually going to feel really good for Weibo. But I guess my next question, or next set of questions for Weibo, is once you hit this level 6 for Xiaohu, and a little bit later for Tian, I need to see that going off every single time the ultis are up. I want to see them be so proactive with that combo to really set themselves up for success.
I mean, it's one where it's going to get online here pretty shortly, Mazel. 6 already in for Xiaohu. Creme can play defense as well. But yeah, I'm interested with the swap, you know, how that changes things up here. Is, of course, with Sion, whenever you can find those 1v2s, can be quite nice. And especially with 369 actually opting for a cloth armor himself. Maybe expecting to get swapped on, as bombies can sometimes really mess up your last hitting. Going to be a little bit of an interesting lane state here, as we will have some different lanes with the Xayah and Rakan landing into the Sion, which they cannot move. Breathe is going to get everything here.
So do you try to swap back out of it, I guess? I mean, the Grubs are coming up in about 1:15.
If you want to play Grubs, you have to. I'm not sure if top esports want to or can play Grubs. That's where the strength of Ahri is going to be very big. And again, Nefiri, you're really committing when you pick Nefiri to play on a 2-item timer. Your other timers just aren't relevant. They don't exist. You are not really a champion on Nefiri until you get your first item, and you aren't really powerful in the game until you get your second. And then you can take over games later on as Nefiri, but it's going to take a bit.
They're going to try to kill him here. They might end up getting him in the end as well. The lethal tempo is stacked, but he is just too damn tanky. Goes ahead and gives out a hearty chuckle as he pops a biscuit. And that's just going to be the push priority going the way of top on bot side.
Yeah, that's what it takes to move the Sion, and they still couldn't fully move him. So Bree's going to be able to soak most of what's down there. And it will be Xayah Rakan maybe trying to pull off a little bit of a cheeky base, as Hong is TPing or channeling that one early. He does have teleport, so with the Unskilled Spellbook with TP, a potential to maybe have at least Hong interact with this top Grub spawn. But I don't think they want it. I'm still in the camp as top esports. Like, you got to drop and very much commit to being disciplined, to wait until 2 items to fight.
They're going to TP Hung into the mid lane. JackeyLove takes a brunt of damage just walking at Xiaohu there. They are going to position around this Grub fight, so they said, no, we are going to go for it, as Weibo had taken 1, but top esports looking to clean up the last 2.
Top esports have done this, I think, all 3 games in a row. They can't get away with it every time.
JackeyLove? He just walked straight into that one. Xiaohu's going to try to take him down. He got the heroic entrance coming through, but it gets denied. Creme can't move, and Creme gets the spears out of his gut. As now here comes the unstoppable onslaught onto JackeyLove, and I think JackeyLove just had the biggest flub of the series right there, as Kanavi's going to go down too, and Weibo look to strike back with a double kill for Breathe.
I mean, I didn't think the fight looked great for top esports in the first place, and when your marksman walks up to a control-warded banana brush, And that's the start of the fight. Well, things are not going to get much better. As
so confused.
Sadly, JackeyLove has an old school JackeyLove moment.
What?
He's already kind of chunked because he forced his way into mid. And I mean, this is on the team a little bit. Because like they look for another chunk in the Xiaohu. Creme technically could have been standing maybe in a better spot to give him a little bit more vision. It's just split call from Top Esports. They didn't fully commit to contesting that last Grub as they fight over Grub too. And yeah, they get punished for it. As Breathe TP'd in, that also bought enough time for Breathe to TP in the first place and actually connect with the rest of the fight. And Weibo said the Viari needed to get things going. Well, Top Esports really helped Weibo get things going there, Mazel, as they have a pretty big lead now.
Yeah, and now they can just snowball this. I mean, we have Dragon coming up in about a minute. Hung's going to miss his grand entrance, and a handshake's going to come down on the Creme there. We'll see if that Summoner spell payoff comes through, but they're just going to take the engage as the Decimating Smash comes through, and Tian's going to get bailed out here. He won't, though. The reset comes through for Kanavi, and Kanavi's coming alive here. He wants to carry the game. He gets the heal back. He's going down now as the spear's ripped out with the Rend. Light is getting a double now. He's looking for a triple. He's got the forward hand as he gets locked up, and JackeyLove, he can't get him. That's a triple kill. Make it a quadra kill for Light, the leading man of Weibo.
The opening of the fight was actually pretty good for Top Esports, but again, talking about how their comp doesn't come online until 2 items. They just lost out on 1 fight. Some conditions were down, which I think opened up opportunities for them in this one. But they're fighting with Xayah with no ult, no flash, and with Nefiri only on, well, not 2 items yet. So while the opening goes well, because they kind of outplay it, they have numbers here. Yes, that doesn't connect from Hong, but they still get the flash from Crisp. Creme has a really nice Justice Punch here on the buffer. Watch this, buffers that, so they can kind of collapse on Vi with a phase rush. But Light, again, gets the condition of the forever fight. There's just not enough damage from Top Esports to even get close to getting through this Scion, and while they're able to fight around the Scion, they can't threaten this Callista, because Breathe is keeping the backline off of Callista. He connects, and when they reconnect here, really good flash from Light, who had that Summoner spell still up, uses it very well in this one, and cleans up the fight for a quadra kill for himself. So that's a 6-0-1 Callista, Mazel.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, you know, Callista priorities dropped off. The nerfs, we already saw Callista kind of falling off. Feels like she's just falling off everyone's radar. Any champion, I don't care who you are, you start a game 6-0-1, you're probably going to look good in that one. Light Callista,
I would say so.
With this start, that's a pretty scary one.
That is terrifying. The largest advantage that Weibo have had this entire series is Hung gonna get caught out, and TES just keep taking these engages, keep finding themselves on the wrong side of these fights. Where did the Top Esports go that was dominating the map in games 1 and 2 completely almost?
Just don't have the damage at the comp yet. You're gonna keep on trying though.
Oh, Kanavi tries to get that damage down. Tian's going to go down, and Light steps up, and Top Esports going to bite the dust yet again. Although Kanavi will buy some time here, Xiaohu should be able to run him down. He's going to try to buy enough time to die to the turret, but Xiaohu will just run him out. And Creme is losing a bit of a trade on the bot side until Breathe takes a couple tower shots.
Yeah, Breathe used his ultimate to chunk out the Galio there, as Creme continuing to do his best to fight through those waves. We'll say, while the fights haven't necessarily been going Top Esports way, there's a 4K gold deficit still on my screen. Some shutdowns have been traded out, and some shutdowns specifically to go on to some members. Kanavi is the only member that has a lead for Top Esports thanks to those shutdowns. And he is now approaching what is a 2nd item Black Cleaver, Mazel. So this will be a Nefiri that is going to very much be online at 2 items. The question is, will Top Esports still be somewhat in the game at 2 items?
And I think that goes back to your point that you were talking about with the emphasis really being on Hung. Because if he can find the quickness combo with the grand entrance, you absolutely have enough time to take down Light. You got even enough time probably through the bailout. But that has to be succinct. You have to be on your P's and Q's for the team. And so far, Top Esports have been left a little wanting in this game number 3. But we'll see if that ends up coming to a head here. Xiaohu will predict that Creme was waiting in the bush, or that somebody was waiting in the bush, and some preemptive pressure around this top side while we have about a minute and a half for the Rift Herald.
You don't want to...
oh, Xiaohu.
Decent shout. He still has the ult, but so he's going to be 2 U's. So trade ults. There it is.
There's
I was going to talk about this.
There's the blade caller. They take down Light here, but the bailout, and he's bailed out in full. Go ahead and give him the sum check here as Light takes a double.
So that's the play that Top Esports can look to make, because Light is not running Cleanse and it's Redemption Rush on Renata. But in the 2v2, it is the health of the barrier and the health of the Redemption that makes sure that Light can stand strong through the bailout as he gets his life back. And Weibo going to take that mid-outer turret, as this map is just all theirs. And the attempts that we've seen from Top Esports to get themselves back in this game have just not been good. There's really no other way to put it. Nothing else to say.
I mean, I feel like they don't need to be doing this.
They don't.
They don't. They just chill, bros.
It's actually mind blowing. They've given the Scion team like all the win cons they want. I mean, the Xayah, you take a really long time to get online into a Scion. As we're gonna get another look again, guys. Light doesn't have a cleanse, so JackeyLove, he flashes. Both flashes used there by the bot lane, but that redemption from Hung was early enough. On Crisp, redemption was early enough. Bailout was just in time.
Literally just in time.
Handshake went sideways. It actually went through Light. He was trying to shake the hand of his marksman, saying, "Look, brother, I got you. We don't even need this spell. Some other spells were so damn on point." Light lives, makes for a happy coach, and Top Esports is even further behind.
8-0-2. He's going to be close to second item at this point. And they've got the Rift Herald as well. 2 dragons. They're off to a blistering start. 15.5 minutes into this game. They're even going to get the top turret here as well to add to their collection, their treasure trove that they've built up in this game number 3. And this is much more the capitalization that I like to see from Weibo. Even if some of these calls from Top Esports are questionable, it is about how Weibo have responded that gets me a little bit of opium.
And for Weibo, I mean, the series they played against AL, so many one-sided games, thinking back to that series. The only one that was close was Game 5, and that still ended in a 5-4-0 team fight, and the next is falling right there, right? So, I think we've seen Weibo. I mean, there have been a couple attempts. I think they went for a very early game-centric comp last game. They just didn't connect with it. This one's a little bit more traditional. Because I think the pieces of the Vi Ahri, like, just the guaranteed playmaking you get from the Cease and Assist and the Spirit Rush. When you have a Callista behind that, well, you have a front line that can tank plenty of damage and create a lot of distractions. I feel like this comp's a little bit more on point for Weibo. Whereas that last one we had a lot of issues with and kind of saw those come to fruition throughout the game. This is a comp that has been proven to work in past iterations of League of Legends, while it might not be as strong now. It still is one that's cohesive, and with Top Esports playing poorly into it, it's given Weibo the strength they need.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. Like, on paper, they can mean one thing, but in execution, it can mean an entirely different situation. And we see that unfolding before our very eyes. Soul point for Weibo on a Cloud Soul as well.
Take on that Scion. You got this.
You got this, Creme.
He does not have it. He's got help behind him. But if I'm Breathe, if I see a Galio Justice punching into me, that's only done for one reason. That's making things more volatile. Because guess what? That never benefits the Galio at this point of the game. So, see if Breathe is on top of it. Xiaohu and Weibo understanding that, well, they may not see the pressure on the top side. They've been playing hard on the bot side. They're the ones that have Soul Point secured. Now an outer turret secured. And a Rift Herald that's secured. One outer with a crash on the inner. Some hella value there.
Yeah, they have 2 grubs too.
Top Esports, just no response.
No response indeed. Very different feeling of this game number 3 compared to the last ones, but a lot of praise needs to go Light's way here. Yes, a lot of teamwork as well. I think Crisp has saved his life. But when you grab this Callista Renata, we both were kind of question marking. We're wondering, is this really the pick you take on the last-ditch effort? But it is. Light, when he was on LNG all those years, all those crazy runs that they had, right? It was always a situation where he would be willing to go for this Callista pick, go for lane dominance in the 2v2, and they find purchase with it.
Light has been playing a lot of his classic champions, even the Kai'Sa. I mean, got to think back to Worlds. He had one of the best plays on Kai'Sa. As Light, I mean, is someone that we haven't really been singing the praises of this split in the LPL, but still one of the better players that we have.
I mean, this is a first-team All-Pro ADC versus somebody who wasn't even on the list.
Yeah, man. I mean, not on the list, but still, as we said a lot, form is temporary, class is permanent. Light has that class that can match up with JackeyLove and the rest of Top Esports historically. As, ooh, more Horizon focus coming out from Xiaohu.
Yeah, you've been liking the new addition?
I mean, I think that it is a much more viable option. We definitely saw Shanks take advantage of it in an Orianna game. I was not expecting that.
Is her Q 600 range? Yeah, I guess so, right?
It kind of. I mean, you can throw it out and walk away, which then is 600 range with your W and R. So, Ahri, it's everything is far enough for the range. But what I like, I mean, it's AP and ability haste. That's what Ahri likes. You don't want pen on Ahri. I never liked the Andres on Ahri because their AP ratios are actually quite good. So take advantage of that. I think Horizon Focus gives you what you want as Ahri. So big fan.
We'll see if fandom matters in this situation. 2 items for literally everybody, which feels really good for Weibo Gaming and just continues to propel this advantage as Kanavi dodges out of Tian's engage. Nice counter engage there on the other side from Breathe as well, and you can't dodge away a second time, Kanavi! Oh my god, it is just hell in a handbasket, though, as a big heroic entrance comes through. Now it's Hung and JackeyLove that are the big focus, as they're going to try to get the combo. They do end up taking down Tian, but now they're in worse for wear on the back end of it, getting the flash out of Breathe. JackeyLove will flash to safety. The rest of top esports with Creme and 369 holding the front line here. But this could be at a con. It looks like they are pinging it.
Crisp actually popped heal. I'm going to wonder if he actually elects to take Smite. He did in the spell book.
Oh, wait. That charm actually connected.
It did, and that means that Creme's going to have to TP back himself. So Weibo...
But they started at a con. What?
They did. Yeah, they popped the heal. I don't think it's a real one, though, as the health bar is just aren't there.
He's going to die. Okay, he's fine.
And look, I'll say, like, as we look through this fight, I know that Kanavi can't dodge out on 2, and he goes down early, but conditions for top esports weren't terrible here, as the Weibo might, like, kind of barely overextended into this. I think if Kanavi actually kept on walking backwards, maybe could get a puff to block the charm, but Light took a lot of damage off of the brittle stacks into the heroic entrance. It was pretty big from the Galio, actually. So JackeyLove does his best to try and navigate this one. It was kind of a weird fight for him. He did live in the end. Hong couldn't find Light, but is able to find Crisp. Or, sorry, Tian. So, I don't know. It's just kind of a giant nothing burger. Top Esports didn't close the gap, and Weibo still have a lot of good conditions for themselves to try and lock down the Soul.
They were trying to think about making it. Xiaohu knows. He's too experienced. He knows there's something in that bush. They know there's a control ward there, but it's all about the prep for the dragon.
Yeah.
Set up around this one here, as there's a lot of summoner spells down, and Weibo feeling absolutely favored here. Kanavi needs to have a pop-off moment if he's going to survive here, if they're going to keep this series in tow, as 369's getting low. That's the bailout use. JackeyLove going to go for the play, as they do end up finding the back line. That's 369 down, heroic entrance on the other side. Top Esports have decided to make the play. They're trying to get Light, but he's still getting bailed out, and you try again, but you continuously fail, Top Esports, as game number 3 is all Weibo.
Yeah, I fear that I saw a Callista at 6-0-1 about, what, 10, 11 minutes in, and guess what, Mazel? That Callista is going to win the game. I know it's shocking. That Callista is winning a game of League of Legends, guys. All it took was 6 kills early on, and a little bit of light action. As Top Esports, look, I think the Top Esports tried to play the way the Top Esports likes to play in a draft where that draft could have played the way the Top Esports usually likes to play. And this ends up being the end result.
I guess I don't know if I agree with that, though, because I just think they made some stupid decisions. I think there were some absolutely boneheaded decisions that they made that this team should not be making.
No, not with this draft, but they make it with other drafts. They made it in other games. It just doesn't. It didn't work out this game. As the draft doesn't warrant it. As I'm just watching this Ornn get one shot throughout the duration of this replay. As poor 369 is the conductor of nothing, and sadly this game. It's a valid attempt in the backline to try and get Light. I mean, trading your AD for the other is decent, but I fear bailout value is a little bit too much, you know. Maybe in Top Esports comms, they're complaining about how the bailout's a basic ability, how it should be an ultimate ability, you know. Hopefully vibes are still good. I have no idea. This game's done and dusted. We're kind of talking about Nada here.
This is over.
As Kanavi, yep, can't even get his red buff.
I am like absolutely stun locked that Light has somehow in a professional game in the upper bracket of playoffs for the LPL and Split 3 is 11-0-6 on a Callista against Top Esports. Now Tian is
going
looking
nuclear.
a little bit backline, yeah, and Light giving a little bit of a answer to JackeyLove's first 2 shots across the bow with game 1 and 2.
You know what Light's saying right now?
What's up?
Light the fuse. Throwback to one of the great slogans and monikers we had for international events here. League of Legends history.
Incredible.
On the flip side, Top Esports.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, Top Esports. They need to take some notes after this one.
Oh,
Sorry,
nice.
sorry, they need to take
nice.
notes after this one. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Take
got
notes.
That. God, that's still so funny.
Whenever I
so
hear that
funny.
slogan, I cannot get Raz out of my head just screaming out "take notes" like out of context. I told you everything you needed to know about that one.
Honestly, it did. Great memories as Weibo making some memories here. And I'm just going to say, they didn't want to go quietly. They hadn't lost the series to Top Esports, and they ain't looking to start today, Cubby. Lost the best of 5 at least.
No. On the flip side, Mazel in Global League of Legends news, T1 versus D+ is going to 5. Sure, you'll find that one surprising.
We don't, it's blasphemy, but it's okay. We'll let you off with that.
I think, given where the game's at, it's very relevant as TP's coming in.
Oh, Top Esports ready to put their face into the meat grinder here. They give it one last go as a charm connects on the back end of it, and Creme ends up falling immediately as the bailout comes through, or at least the hostile takeover as well. And that's going to be so much damage flying Top Esports' way. The Feather Storm Blade Collar combo will not get you out of that today. And that is a full and total clean ace for Weibo Gaming in game number 3.
Well, Mazel, I think that this game would be great to show children as parents. That sometimes decisions that you make earlier on in life have consequences later on. I feel like that's the motto I picked up from this one.
That's the lesson from game 3.
It is.
Every game has a lesson.
Everything matters.
The little things.
It's about, the little things, they add up. Top Esports.
Dude, Xiaohu's 24 stacks on his Magi.
A lot of little things went wrong this game. As I don't even know where to start with this one. And at this point, this game's over. Nice hostile takeover from Crisp.
I don't know why, I just have that walk up from JackeyLove stuck in my head this entire game.
It hurt. It looked rough.
That was a toughie. It's all been toughie, but honestly, I knew this was coming, right? As like, there's no way that Weibo goes so quietly when we saw them kind of grit their teeth.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to highlight that this has been the story for Weibo. They all of a sudden just muster strength, muster courage, find wins, and they find themselves at the top of the conversation more often than not.
I mean, this is a team that I think frustrates its fans at times, given that it is a team that while they do end up at the top more often than not, the road there is spicy. As
they actually find a little bit of a pick.
Xiaohu hits JackeyLove style, though. Wow.
Wait, Xiaohu might go down. 3-man! Oh my god! A triple kill for Light, and that's the end of the game. Get them out of here. They need an ambulance after this one.
This game was a little one-sided, a little too easy. Weibo took a comp that was cohesive, a comp that would have been Thanos in eras of leagues past. Not so much in this era, but they made it look like Thanos. As Light started the game with a quadra kill. He was sitting at 6-0-1, and they never looked back.
This might be the largest gold lead I've seen this year in the LPL. 20,000 plus gold lead, and Weibo, they have awoken.
They were bathed in green, man. They called their shot coming out on stage. They're going to bathe themselves on green in and out of the rift.
True.
They're
swimming in the money. Scrooge McDuck style. That's not green, though. That's gold because it was gold coins. But
good reference still.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Top Esports, I don't know if you want to look at the coaches' cams after that one, but they're not going to be happy.
As a coach, honestly, you can write it off. Just be like, guys, we're going to talk about how we played that comp. tomorrow. Because at least the perks of Fearless Draft, you can talk about the big picture stuff, but like specific champ stuff, it's like, okay, we got to throw that out the window and think about next game. Look, I think that if we do see top esports take a comp that requires a little bit more time, I want to return to the top esports that was giving up Barons to take a Dragon's Soul point and then realizing like, hey, we can scale like this. You guys can't do anything about it. I think that the scaling like wasn't as clear of a path that game compared to game 2. I don't want to make this a one-to-one comparison, but what I'm getting at is that we saw top esports make really smart, disciplined decisions to make sure they were fighting on timers and conditions that were good for them. That game, we saw all that go out the window. Top esports elected chaos, and Weibo Gaming took advantage. So, yeah, that was a rough one.
It was indeed a little bit rough and tumble, but maybe that's how Weibo likes their games. As I do foresee them being on red side this time around.
Really?
Top esports is going to be, yeah, it's crazy, right?
It is actually the perk of going up 2-0 is that you get a game 4 and 5.
At least on blue side.
On blue side, yeah.
Question, if we can, Brad, if you're there, if we could bring up the predictions really quick, because I do want to bring these up, because I'm not saying I'm right already, but we're getting to the point where there's a large group of us that might just be right. If top esports can pull back this next game, it would end up in a 3-1, but you take a look at the predictions cross board. I know you expect it to go 5.
I had to align myself away from the community, you know? I can't prove myself as a superior analyst if I'm just always going with what the community thinks, Mazel.
Is that how you think?
No, actually, it's not. It's actually dangerous to think, but it is something that is funny.
I've heard it's dangerous to think on broadcast. I have heard that. Yeah. That's why I get told that all the time.
Well, then I might have one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, which the government would very much beg to differ on.
Just like cleaning, stuff at the bottom of the ocean. Just like
if it's dangerous to think, top esports were very risk averse in that game. So there's that too. As that gold graph in this game, that game was only going one way. It was the way of the weebs.
Oh, that was so good, Cubby. Yeah. You're a genius.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tumble. Again, might be the largest gold lead I've seen all year.
That's I see 21,000 at the top of my screen there.
That is insane.
It's a big number.
And it was an easy to execute comp. It's very much easy to execute when you go 6-0 up for Light. There's no way he doesn't take the MVP for this one. And I needed to see this kind of performance from him. That's what I was begging for, coming out of game 2 even. And just asking to see this bot lane step up. And step up they did on some comfort picks we know them well for.
Yeah, and I mean, as we go throughout the replay of this game, Mazel, we're going to see Weibo.
I don't want to see it again.
Playing the picks that look damn good for them. Don't worry, we already skipped over.
This was already when JackeyLove walked into him.
This was the second fight that Weibo decided to take right after JackeyLove face checked the brush, and this one didn't go as well. The Renata value, the Callista value,
and the resets with the
and
Ren,
the Scion value,
just brutal.
And look, you're trying to fight through a Scion as a Xayah with a BF sword or like Essence Reaver components. That's just. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Oh, man. This one was backbreaking. They are like milliseconds from getting this kill. Like the Crisp had just come into range.
I mean, that also, though, redemption value. I see a redemption used on blue team, not on red team. Again, guys, redemption provides so much value as an item.
He also had heal, by the way. I don't want to call out Hung too much there, but he also has heal. Didn't use. Nice. Yeah, he didn't use it. No, he didn't use it.
Oh, he didn't use it? Okay,
yeah.
That hurts. That hurts. I did see Light use his barrier. That was nice. True. But again, guys, redemption in these fights can be early on in the game, be up to like 1.2k health for your entire team. That is a ginormous difference maker if you're getting that item a couple minutes before the enemy's support. And your carries only have like what 1,500 health in mid game. Like that's a ton of health you're adding to your team. So, I think that redemption, if redemption goes unchanged, I think one of the biggest talking points for Worlds might legitimately be who gets redemption first. It's not quite as impactful as like the Ardent meta that everyone thinks very poorly upon. Whereas I argue that was actually one of the best Worlds we've ever had. Which I know that. Dude, Season 5 Worlds was a banger, man. It really was.
It was a banger.
It really was. It was a great tournament. But yeah, I mean, a lot of that tournament came down to like who gets Ardent first in the games, and then how hard can you drive that lead home. I think we're seeing some of that with Redemption. Like I've seen teams take fights off of Redemption completion or Redemption diff. It's pretty undeniable the strength that this item provides you when it's completed. It doesn't matter what support you're playing. Everyone is rushing Redemption. Yeah, it just feels like community or just pro player sentiment is that it is way too powerful as... Look, I know that Light put up the boom boom damage, but I think Breathe actually made pretty good case for himself to be the Pog, even if it's not going to be him.
There's no way. I'm sorry, dude.
Dude, the Cyan was massive in every single one of those fights, by the way. So,
but don't disrespect my boy Light. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not disrespecting. It's just it be what it do, you know.
It be what it do. We'll see who gets that MVP, but an incredible wake-up performance from Weibo themselves. I'm just glad we actually have a series on our hands. There you go. 15-0-9, 7,000 gold difference at the end of the game. And only his second MVP of the season.
It's what we call a boom boom damage incarnate, though. It's like, that's
rightfully so.
Anyway, if you couldn't tell, we're kind of tired of talking about this game itself. So
it was insane, man. Like...
20k
what
gold
do you do against that?
You go to game 4.
Yeah, apparently top esports are now going to have to recoup themselves, as Weibo have gotten themselves into the series at least, but they still need to win every game from here on out. We'll see if they can after this short break.